Okay, I just got this clock back out of the scrap metal because I thought I probably should see if this board's any good. Turns out these are used in XC Falcons as well, or at least this board is. Quite a different looking clock overall by the look of it, at least as far as the dial. Now, I just went across the coil here with my power supply, and if you just short it out and basically take the power off again, yeah, it's enough to generate a magnetic pulse out of it. And I could see the little magnet wheel there moving sometimes just slightly, and then if you move it to other positions, it doesn't move at all. So I think this thing's just full of rust and stuff. Now I just grabbed the second hand, which was sitting here on the end. Just grabbed the little black bit with my side cutters. Probably should really use some little needle nose pliers like this, but side cutters were the first thing I saw. That just pulls off, and now I've got the fun of trying to get the other two. They should all just pull off. How you get them back in the right position, or does it matter? I don't know. Probably doesn't matter that much, or do we have to take that brass bit off? This is the problem, knowing what you're supposed to do. Whoop. That was the longer one, is the minutes, or the upper hand anyway. And the bottom one should do something similar. It's, something's happening, but it doesn't look good. Oh no, there it goes. So remove them. Is that screwdriver going to be small enough? Just. Then we can take the face off it. Ah, so they are actually melted on. That didn't really get us anywhere. There's no screws in there. I think they were, that's where the board screwed on or something. So that's kind of not all it is. Oh, it's VDO Germany. No jewels, unadjusted, I think it says. So it is the German clock. But we can't blame the Germans for it failing, because yeah, there's bits of rust or something attached there. Does this magnet have some sort of gap here? I think there's a gap under, no, maybe not, just a bit of metal. Does it just, oh, there's a gap there, I think. Usually there's some sort of break in the metal somewhere. Maybe there is a gap under there, I can't even tell. Yeah, so it looks like there's two magnetic pole pieces, one out of each, and there's a gap. And that's where the magnetism basically escapes its conduction through that steel and builds a field around this, but that has got a lot of rust. I think that's our issue. It's the magnet itself, or the little round bit underneath it. I'm not sure if that is part of the magnet. There's probably got a bunch of gritty, rusty stuff in there. Because it certainly runs the hands alright if you turn it. We just can't seem to get the magnetic field to induce much magnetism in it to make it rotate or whatever. Guess it's meant to flick a reasonable distance each time. Yeah, that's all covered in muck. So I'm not sure if this other piece is the magnet, so maybe this ring up here is not the magnet. And that bit is. Assuming either of it's magnetised, I guess it must be. Must have magnetic poles to make it, I guess. When we magnetise the other bit, one part attracts and one part repels, and it spins it somewhat. Oh, yeah, that didn't even turn at all then. What just happened? Oh, yeah, there's a crunchy point there, I think. Oh, it's because this other bit must... the other bit spins on it, I think. Is that the problem? I think I'm turning the whole thing, but I'm not. No, the other bit's just stopped. And then it jerks occasionally. Okay, no wonder it feels like it's alright, but it's not. It's because this lower bit is shot. I wonder if we could just lube that with a bit of oil or something. It feels like it's got some gritty bit in there. Yeah, there's definitely some friction there. Very crunchy. Now, unless we remove this, maybe we'll just, we've got nothing to lose with this thing. I was going to throw it away anyway. Or should I drill them out? I'm so used to just cutting them, but you've got to be careful you don't cut yourself in the process. That's very hard plastic. Should I cut it off with the side cutters? I don't think the Germans wanted this being repaired somehow. Is that even going to help? Well, whatever we cut off, it wasn't enough. But it wouldn't be German if it was easy, would it? I think I've still got a bit of... It's just a bit of a worry if you buy a Japanese car and get all these German parts in it. This just does not want to. Probably going to have to squash it and pry something in there, but I think the Germans, oh, we got that one off. Germans have made this, so you've got to just about drill out all the plastic that you want to use again later to hold it back together. That's what I'm trying not to cut too much of, because in theory you want that later. I don't think we're going to have any hope. But I thought maybe this chip could be worth checking if it still works. Whoa, no, that's exactly what I didn't want to happen. Where did they even come from? It must have been in that little pinpoint there. So, oh god, yeah, full of gritty grot. So yeah, really a clock like this, let's say, is only scrap metal value, but given how old this stuff is now, going on 50 years, you can't necessarily get more of these things, and if there are any above ground, they're probably in this condition because they're in some rusted old car in a paddock somewhere, or like this was in an old shed that's had its day. Oh yeah, it's got a whole pile of little... Right there, I've put them all in one place, little iron filing type things. That's about what I expected to find. So we've got a small screw or something. Oh yeah, there you go, it's definitely a magnet. But it's not this, but I thought it was this upper piece, but there's the magnetic bit. That alone should be enough to fix that. But then we should be able to see whether our board actually works. If I can work out where all these gears went. Let's just put that back in for a minute. Probably should put some oil on that, but yeah, that's fine now. So that gear stack sat like that. I had a little pinhole there. And the other ones, one assumes... Did one go inside the other or something? That must have been something like that. And then they sit on there. But that's the problem when these things just burst open on you like that. But I'm not really that fussed about getting all the gears working again. I think what happened is, yeah, that gear must sit in between the other gears or something. Is that what's going on? Oh, what's this? What's this second gear do then? Oh yeah, something like that. Oh, God knows. These are intermediaries between these two by the look of it. So which actual way they went, no one will probably ever know again. Maybe in the video I can see Is that more it? That might be more it, I think. Feels kind of like it fits in there better. And we've got to get both the pins of these things. Oh, that one goes in that high one. That's not so bad, is it? That goes into the high point, but will that fit? That's what we're about to find out. At that height. Well, it's got to go into the tail. I think it might. It's hitting on this. Oh, this worm wheel thing. What the? No, it definitely doesn't go that way. Must go that way. What drives this thing? That's outright. So something must... Oh, did these go completely the other way or something? And they're up here. That has to go... Yeah, that bit I think has to go there. Is that hitting on that? I don't see anything there to drive it. Wait up, maybe this bit goes in deeper. Yeah, that goes in deeper. This most likely does something like feed between that lot. This one then does what? Goes in between there somewhere. Or did this gear sit on top of like that? Maybe that's more it. So that's right over there. Does that reach? I think it could go something like that. That would have to, yeah, that pushes down. Okay, we've got that mess. That is actually, oh, so that goes, so that gear and that gear are meshed to that one. It's meshed to the angled gear here. No idea if that's right, but that's probably the best I can do with that. And we're going to get this. What does that sit into? Oh, there. That's the problem. We've got 3 little pins. Four little pins to get into holes. Mate, that's no fun. And while trying to get these plastic things back on, which don't want to go. Whoop, something's going. That one's on. Now we've got to try and get all these little pins in the holes. That's not ready to go in. Oh, this one's on a silly angle. That one I think's ready to go in. Which one of the ones? That one, I guess. That feels like it's going in. But this isn't. Surely it should start pushing in. Why aren't you going in? There we go. Is that one going in? Now it's just this one, surely. Mate, I've got no idea if that's correct, but if we can hold that together and see if we can get the coil to flick things. And I'm not sure which way it's meant to go, but I guess we'll find out. Where's the little magnet over there? I'm watching this thing, it's not really doing much. It's doing something though, just about. It's drawing such a low amount of current, it seems too low. Though, what we do have to check is, does the mech at least turn? Yeah, it's running freely. Yeah, that's working fine. In a way, we need our second hand to know which direction, but this coil doesn't really do a lot. Do we need a really short blast? I can see it moving, you can hear it moving. Yeah, the whole mechanism's running slowly. It's a bit noisy. Ugh. It's certainly not meant to go that fast. Probably should have put a bit of oil on that. Yes, it does a big spin. It seems, and then nothing. Oh, it is moving slowly, that washer. I can see the rust moving around. Oh, that must direct, I think that direct drives. Oh, where is the second hand? What's it attached to? Oh, that's definitely working now. Well, I say that and then of course it stops. Yeah, it goes a certain way, then it's stopping. Well, that doesn't really help much, but that capacitor that I've got out is just across the power rail, so it's probably not that important. Which one went where? Oh, it went upside down this board, I think. So I don't think our capacitor really mattered as far as clock operation goes. Okay, so that's the negative, that's the positive. Oh yeah, it's trying. You can see it spin. It's actually going. Oh, so maybe I wonder if one of those capacitors puts a bit of extra charge into this inductor or something to help it go a bit harder than when I was just messing around with it. So there we have it, a working clock again. So whether I've got the gears in the right spot, at least we know that chip is a worker, and even that rusty old crystal draws a amount of current you can't really see. I mean, these were meant to run in cars for a long time without flattening the battery at all. Uh-oh. Well, it was working. Didn't last long. Is our resistor getting hot or anything? Well, I think we just killed it. I hope that chip didn't just die. Oh no, she's away again for a little bit. Weird. Is it a bad connection? Possibly. Really, I should melt those bits back into place, I guess, but where did the screws go? Into the plastic there and there, I guess. there and there possibly. They're not going to be too easy to get back in probably. And especially if you can't find the other one. Oh, I put it up on there, did I? Thought I had it somewhere. And I think the bit that adjusted it also pushed down through the same... Could it have gone through the same... Oh, does that turn this bit maybe? Or something's happening. Or is that just the other... I'm not sure what's what. So I think these hands, we can just put them on anywhere. It doesn't really matter. As long as the clock keeps ticking, it doesn't matter where these actually point. You just set the clock to the current time, and as long as they're all geared at the right rates to each other, then it's really irrelevant where you start them at. I guess I should have started around 12 o'clock. So we can notice the change. I think it might be that positive connection that's so tarnished. So what are we at? We're at 7 past. No. Or is it just the magnet? It's the, I think it is the magnet, maybe, who knows. Bit annoying. It reminds me of sitting in the car as a kid, waiting for the parents or something, and you've got that horrible clock ticking away. Just seems to make the time go even slower. Oh yeah, that hand's moving while ago. I think we've already got roughly to the 8, so maybe we need the second hand to be in a better position. I guess it's possible that hand is going to move ahead of it more than it should, sort of thing, before it hits the minute. It's already on the next minute. It should sort of come around the same time. I reckon that wants to go around a little bit more. But we're quarter past, and yeah, I think that hour hand's a little bit further than it should be. Getting the actual winder and winding this thing through would have been the way to do it. I think that must have pushed down into this brass thing. Can we do it with a pair of pliers or something? Because that, then you can see your hands following each other around, and I guess it's just, yeah, forces the hands around. Let's get that to the half-hour mark. It's not far off, but I think that's slightly more advanced than it should be. Don't know if we can make that slide back a bit. Probably risk bending it. That's pretty close to half an hour, I think. Should be, what, 2.5, so yeah, so on 3 really. But anyway, there's a little something different to play with. So there could be some of these teeth. Obviously on this, probably this larger gear might have some damage or more likely some dirt in them. That looks pretty clean. So that could explain why it's stopping every now and then. Could just be needs an oil. If all these gears are somewhat stiff from dirt or lack of lube or whatever, then eventually you're going to get a point where there's so much tension probably that it stalls this thing. Don't think the magnet should be causing any problems now, but really every tip of every one of those little pins wants lubricating. on every set of gears, basically, given the condition of this thing. But anyway, we know that chip's actually a worker, so that's something. Not bad for something nearly 50 years old that's been in bad weather conditions and stuff, to the point of having a reasonable amount of corrosion on it, and we can still basically get it running, and like I say, a good lubrication, and it might work perfectly, who knows. But at least that's a retro part that maybe is worth saving. I was going to chuck all this away, and then I thought I should really check whether those chips, and someone got back to me on that blog and said, oh, it's used an XB Falcon as well, so I thought, well, they're definitely a car, not XB, XC I think it is, not the XA or B, because I don't think they ever had clocks in them, from the small memory I have of what they were like inside, but they were pretty basic. Maybe by the XC the Australian car actually had gone so fancy because of probably the Japanese competition actually put a clock in their car, which is a nice little feature to have. But yeah, God, that reminds me of sitting around waiting for parents at the supermarket or something, because we didn't want to go in there and listen to the clock ticking around. Not something you want to hear. It just, like I say, it kind of makes the time drag more, I think, when you hear it ticking away, especially when you're a kid and time goes so slow anyway. But that's that little VDO, what was it, a 253 board. It goes to show, this will, to be fair, this one probably hasn't had a lot of use in a long time. Who knows, the last time this was used, it may well have been the 80s or 90s that this got pulled out and retired. More than likely was, so this could have had 30 years of sitting around doing nothing. At least the chip's probably got life in it in that sense, in that it's probably reasonably low hours. But of course these things ran constantly while the car was in use, basically from the day it was made until the day it was scrapped. And how long that was varied, of course. But there you have it. I think we'll still throw the mechanism in the scrap, but at least that electronic board is a usable unit. Maybe I'll just keep the whole thing together like that, and if someone, maybe I'll put it on eBay or something, if someone wants to buy it cheap just for the chip out of it, at least it'll go to a good home and maybe get some retro cars clock working again, which is better than just chucking it in the e-waste, since they're not making any more of these things, and maybe make someone happy with their old car or whatever. So that's all I'm going to do on that one for now, so thanks for watching.